It's on.
Back so that we can look all.
Hello!
Okay, apparently that worked.
It did work.
To you.
Hello.
And back up. There we go. Hi!
Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Okay, my first reaction is, of course, I'm looking at myself because we're talking about body images today. How are you guys, everybody?
Hi.
I am Lee.
I'm Paul.
And we are Couple Dumb.
Yes, we are.
We write for a website called coupledumb.com. We write about relationships, all kinds of relationships, marriage, intense relationships. This week we're talking about daddies and stuff like that. And usually when we write about it, we talk about it on the show. This week we're switching it up because we got a lot of things going on. We didn't have a show last week.
Because he was sick.
Because I was sick. I was really sick.
Yeah.
And I don't get sick. I'm definitely not.
Not one who gets sniffles and then
shuts
down.
No, I'm so not that person. In fact, on the contrary.
Yeah.
The moment I get sniffles, I feel like painting the house. And, because that's my own mental damage. I don't know how else to say it. I have a hard time with being down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was sick, and before I knew it, painting the house. Oh yeah, no,
right.
I do. How's this? I never clean I don't do floors. I hate mopping. I hate all that stuff. But the only times I've mopped in my life is when I've broken my heel, and when I had my foot in the cast because I did nerve damage to one of my feet.
How about when you broke your arm?
Oh, when I broke my arm, I was cleaning out refrigerators and doing things I don't do normally. I mean, that's just not what I do. I mean, I like keeping my kitchen clean or whatever, but like actually emptying out a refrigerator, I don't do that.
Yeah.
So, I'm a bit of a freak when it comes to being down, and so then Paul made the executive decision that we're just not doing the show because knowing me, I'd probably want to go and do a marathon show.
Yes, I was attempting to take the pressure off.
And that's a bunch of bullshit, too, because it was his birthday on Friday.
Yeah. I didn't say who I wanted to take the pressure off.
Yeah, and he just didn't feel like talking about it. But you know what? This is why we're doing this show today, the body image show. There's a lot of things going on. He had his birthday last week. I have something coming up this week that I'm doing that I wanted to talk about because, we do things in our life and then we kind of pretend like it's not happening. And so we miss the opportunity of getting something out of it. I don't know if I'm explaining myself. So it'll become clearer as we talk. Yeah, anything else going on? Yeah, we just found out not even half an hour ago that a friend of ours passed away. Wow. He was only 54.
Yeah, I know. 54.
And which actually, fits in with what we're talking about today.
Which is weird because it kind of fits in with, by way of my mental damage. Because this guy it's not like he was a close friend. He was, like a
nice guy that we knew.
A nice guy that we knew, yeah. Which, for me, tends to affect me even more. Because when somebody close to me dies, then it's very personal between God and I. My craziness says, okay, well, at least God is looking right at me, This seems very random,
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was 54. He was an optometrist, and he actually, I saw him, and Jeannie saw him. Our daughter saw him. And, so, yeah, very sad. Yeah. It's weird because, the way we found out about it was on Facebook, which is,
The way we found out a lot of the things
nowadays, which is very sad. But yeah, no, he was married to a family member from somebody my sister, God. My sister was married to. She was married to this guy. His cousin, a friend of hers, that was her husband. And so anyway, the whole point is, the when someone young like that dies, it puts things into a weird perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and being that he just went through a birthday, and usually after his birthday, I gear myself up for my birthday because it's kind of like it's the only adult birthday left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's not the next birthday we have.
But it's the
Bobby's
next,
birthday.
Yeah, adult birthday.
But the next adult birthday. So
Bobby's birthday is more a season.
that's true. But yeah, no, my birthday's not until next month. Send your gifts now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's, you know, it still spurs on a lot of thinking. You know, getting older and body image are so linked together because we create in our mind a certain image of ourselves. And what ends up happening is that as you get older, every time, you know, wash your hands and you look up and you do one of those, what is this? You know, what's going on here today? You know, I never saw that before. Those kind of things affect you. And this is, you know, the getting older thing, yes, there's the mortality, but it's also the way that...
Morning, Stephanie.
Good morning. Had to restart. What happened? It also... what you're seeing doesn't match with what you have inside. And when that happens, you have a kind of a disconnect.
Every week we give away 2 items, but you do the reviews.
Okay.
It's real parents, real reviews. It's on our website.
What is this?
We ask for
That's
what you
interesting.
really think of these toys.
Ours just started talking.
The stuff
Sorry.
we get is so great. You guys really do this job really well because they're afraid of Michelle.
Okay,
That's
stick them with the
We don't
hell.
have Michelle. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hopefully
So
everything's
then-
still good.
Okay, so you want to turn it a little bit because it's all very... And I have a very nice V
Yes,
for
you do.
everybody today.
Yes.
And I actually pulled it up because it tends to go a little bit lower. And the girls get to show a little bit. And, you know, it's body image. Fuck
That's
it. So, anyway, so yeah, that's the big to do, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this conversation now. What?
Are we still going? I need somebody to give me a heads up because I don't know whether I just disconnected us somehow or what's going on. Anybody there?
No.
Hello?
Here we are.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
no?
You are on. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, so this is the thing. I had, let's see, I have my children, right? And one thing that, you know, it's like I'm a big girl, and you know, over the years you tend to just get used to the idea that, okay, you are going to be bigger than most people. You know, not that I don't work at trying to keep the weight down, and I have lost, you know, some weight over the summer, and, you know, I'm continuing the healthy track and all that, and releasing the weight. The big thing that happened after my last child was, and notice I'm saying it's the big thing. I know it's not a big thing. I know it's not a big deal to everyone. To me, it is. Okay? So, after the last kid, now, the last kid came when I was what? 41.
Right.
So, you know, I wasn't a spring chicken having, you know, babies. I wasn't, you know, 19 years old popping out a baby. You know, it's like, this was a long, you know.
Maternal age?
I was an advanced maternal age according to the doctors. So, after I had Ricky, all of a sudden, I noticed that I got this, like, dark spot over my eye. And it looks like, you know, just, is it the side or is it this
No,
side?
the side bit.
I'm right.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm good, huh? Talk about body image. I know exactly where it is. So I got this dark spot. Actually, I got it while I was pregnant.
Right.
It was towards the end of my pregnancy. And when I showed the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, that's normal. That's
Right.
you know that's melasma. That's your hormones, and you know it's no big deal."
Very normal, very common.
Very normal and very common. I happen to have a cousin who's a dermatologist. So then after I had Ricky, I pointed out to him said dark spot and these things that I got that you can't really tell.
Do you want to go close up?
Oh, let's see.
No, don't move it. Do it this way.
Ooh. Okay, that's scary.
Yeah, we're going with the close-up, folks.
You can't really tell like this. But anyway, I was usually like, plaster of Paris kind of, maybe on this side. Nope, no, you can't see it on this side either. But you can see some. Anyway, I'm not.
This one, because that's.
Where is it?
That's
Dude, I can't do this. There you are.
Okay.
Right. Shit, Paul. There somewhere. Anyway, fuck it.
Okay.
Anyway, so the point is, you can't see them like that. I could see them.
Yeah.
And, I was usually, little white girl. I know like this, I look very, white and very, blanched, very pale. But I could see, like, it's like a skin darkening. And, for women in general, as they get older, that's a big deal. That, I've actually worked with women who've talked about that and how disconcerting it is, because it's one of those things where you look in the mirror and you're like, well, wait a minute, that's not me. That part is not me. When did that show up? It's almost like your body is defying you. And when it does things like that, you tend to get into not a funk. I mean, I haven't gotten in a funk. I've definitely gotten angry. Kind of like, what the hell, And of course, my cousin, the dermatologist, goes, oh, don't worry about it. Give it a few years and it'll go away. I'm like, oh, okay. And I go, well, what's a few years, Tony? And he goes, oh, 5-10 years. And I'm like, dude, that's not a few years.
That's quite a few years.
That's quite a few years. You're talking a decade. It's like, in other words, when Bobby's in college, my skin will be back to normal. But by then,
the liver spots will be good.
Exactly.
Covering it up.
So, but the liver spots, that's all the same shit. It's really not liver spots. It has nothing to do with your liver.
Okay, wrinkles will swallow it up.
I don't get wrinkles.
No, you don't.
Anyway,
Yes,
so
I have wrinkles.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So the point of all this, and it's like, and this sounds like I'm making excuses for doing things like doing plastic surgery type of thing, but it's not excuses at all. I don't have any issues with women having plastic surgery. Of course, I have issue with excessive plastic surgery. It's kind of like saying, Lee, do you have a problem with people drinking? I have absolutely no problem with people drinking. I have a problem with excess. Yeah. Do you have a problem with people smoking pot? Not really. I have problems with excess.
Like almost everything that we talk about, it's why are you doing it?
Yeah. I mean, why so much?
Yes.
Right. When I've had people saying, well, I know what you're going to say, but, I'm going to have my breasts done. I'm like, great for you. And they're usually surprised that I would say that. It's like, whatever makes you feel comfortable in your own skin. I've worked with transgendered people, and, there's no judgment on my part, because it's like, okay, you do not feel comfortable in your skin. You feel you need to become the opposite sex, or you feel you need to become who you really are by having these surgeries to transform your sex. That's fine. Your gender. That's perfectly fine. That's who you are. Let's work on this, though. Let's make sure about it, because this is like no takey-backies.
Yeah, let's explore this one.
Yes, there's no take-backs on that one. So,
take-backs, depending on...
Well, no, it's take-backs because they don't take it off. They don't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, anyway, that's another show altogether. Yeah. The things that you get to learn and do when you're in the psychology field, they're just so much fun. So anyway, in September, I told Paul, you know what? If there's anything I'm willing to do in terms of plastic surgery and or any kind of cosmetic enhancement, it would be to do like some sort of chemical peel and deal with this stuff. And no sooner do I say that, like a few weeks later, I get what we call in the business a pitch in the email saying, hey, would you be willing to try out a chemical peel? And I'm like, sweet. So starting this Sunday, I'm going to do the chemical peel. I'm going to chronicle it. I'm definitely going to chronicle it psychologically.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. You know, I'm going to be 45 next month. And I don't know about you, but the 5s and the 0s are big years.
Okay, I agree.
You know, I don't know why, you know, I mean, I guess that I haven't grown up much because, you know, when you're a little kid, a 5 is a big deal and a 10 is the big deal and the 15s, which I never got because I ended up in Las Vegas watching Jack Jones with my family. Not that I'm bitter. You know, was a big deal. So 45 is a big deal. So there's a certain amount of things I want to get done in this next year.
Okay.
Okay? You know, one of them, I was about to say something really nasty. Anyway, you just bring that up.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyway, I'm going to start the chemical peel. So if you want to see what it's going to be like, also, I think I have, let me see. Here, I'll just pull it out right here. Okay, nice.
Yeah, things stuck to it and all that.
Things.
Yeah.
This is it right here.
You can't see it that way.
Here, go ahead, you did that part. This is from skin-peel.com.
All kind of
and what am I doing?
Scary looking things.
I know. What am I doing? Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Which one is it? I'm doing a 50% kojic peel.
Okay. I have no idea what that means.
Who knows? I picked the one specifically to deal with like the staining and all that. I don't have pitting or anything like that in my skin. Where's it? And yeah, supposedly it hurts. My understanding is that it does hurt. Is that
but if it works out, we'll use it next year for Halloween.
And yeah, exactly. I put it on for like 7-8 minutes and let it do its thing, and then yeah, it's supposed to hurt. So you know what? And the thing is, Lee doesn't have a problem with pain.
Yeah. So it has such lines as application time may increase with tolerance. Yeah.
In other words, well, that's really bad too, because if that's the case, I'm like thinking, I know me.
I know she can tolerate.
I know I can tolerate a lot.
Yeah, doing it at home. This is going to be our home thing.
This is a home thing.
Basically, what we're going to do is we are going to be streaming it on Coupledom and putting it there every day so that you can see.
So you can see it.
Where we're at.
You know what? The things are done in a doctor's office, not anymore. You know, and because these aren't. I mean, it's not like I'm doing laser treatment at home.
Yeah, now they're done at spas.
Yeah, they do them at spas, and an esthetician does them and things like that. So yeah, they're no longer. I mean, I know that my brother-in-law had to do a chemical peel because he had like the beginnings of skin cancer.
This was medically necessary.
But he did it at home by himself. So even the doctors just hand it to you. So I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I'm excited about it. You know, I'm not. I thought I'd be more anxious about it, but I'm not. So who knows? You know, I mean, I guess it's the possibility of having things different.
But we are getting some family portraits today, just in case.
Just in case I end up like, you know.
Skin peeling off. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it says, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, it may not do that. It may not do this.
No.
They don't know. It depends It depends on the person. But if you tune into Coupledom, and you will see, because every day I will do like a little video segment.
My guess is that yes, she's going to get red, because being that she is the color of non-fat milk anyhow, that red is the only other option.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
Red and things in the red family, the purples and pinks and such.
I'm gonna look like a lobster.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that by next Friday it'll be all cool and taken care of.
If not, you'll hear about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to be doing a review on it. Mm-hmm. I just think it's very timely, and I appreciate the opportunity to do things. I mean, I did check out the company, so it's not like I'm I'm doing it from Fred's Skin Peel. This is, skinpeel.com is, and they do things with natural stuff and whatever. So check 'em out.
On the category though, on what we're talking about, this is all part of her doing so why am I doing this?
Yeah, why am I doing it? I don't like it. Simple as that. When I see it, and I've tried for the last couple of years just to do like creams to lighten. Some of them have lightened it, but I just don't like that. I don't feel like that's part of me. When I look at pictures of me before I was pregnant with Ricky, because Ricky, everything went downhill after that. No. And you didn't want to have him.
So evil.
You opened yourself up to that. Anyway, so I look at my skin in those pictures, and it's like I recognize me. And then when I look in the mirror now, it's like, and I see those things, it's like this, and it's just gotten worse over the last few years, and I don't like it. And I do take care of myself. I don't go out in the sun. No. You will never see me sitting next to a pool. That just doesn't happen. Not in the daytime. Nighttime, yeah. I do a lot of moon, bathing.
Yes.
But not sunbathing. And, when you're this color, you don't do sunbathing. You learn pretty early on in life that sunbathing is just an invitation for pain.
Yeah.
And
she turns red, gets sick, and then turns white again.
Yeah, I do get the vitamin D poisoning. I do tend to get nauseous and/or vomitus. So the point is, I've taken care of myself. So why not? And I use cream on my face every day. I take care of it, making sure I don't get wrinkles, as you can see. And yet I get these stupid ass stains. So no. And I'm taking care of it. And more will come up during the week as I explore those options and what beauty means in my family, because that's a big deal. My mom doesn't have these. My mom is 70 whatever, and her skin's fine. My grandmother doesn't even have that crap.
No.
So anyway, I'll explore it more. So, as we talk about body image is a big deal. We talk about we every single day we're talking about it in the media some way or another, and we don't really address it as it pertains to us. We address it as, oh my God, look what the media is trying to sell us now. Look at the media is trying to, tell us that all women have to be skinny. The media is trying to tell us blah, blah, blah. The media can't tell us anything that we're not willing to listen to. And
everybody has a body image.
Yeah, everybody does. And everybody has issues with their body image, because once your body doesn't do what you think your image is, you're going to have an issue. This is where I have my issue. Is it the chubby? No, well, yeah, there is some of that, but not to the level of this. This, that's a big deal. So, one of the body image issues that we discuss a lot is eating disorders. And, when you think of the fact that 80% of kids right now, and I just got this email this week, 80% of kids have been on a diet.
Yeah. Children
have been on a diet of some type. So anybody under the age of 18 has been on a diet. 80%. Okay, so that means boys as well as girls. Because if you're talking a 50, actually it's 51-49 split in terms of gender, you're still talking 20-something% of boys are.
Yeah, if you assume that all girls are.
I assume all girls have been on a diet. There's like those 3 that probably haven't, but
you're still getting
a lot of boys. You're getting a good percentage of boys, and actually, more and more boys are checking in for treatment for eating disorders and anorexia and bulimia. Those are big deals. So, and that all comes back to what you're supposed to look like. What was that? You came up with that statistic recently that you read about men who work out. That
30%. Basically, if men were asked what the ideal amount of muscle is, like with pictures, point out the pictures, and then they asked women the same question for a man, and men thought that 30% more muscle mass was what women liked.
Right.
Than what and women liked the were pointing out leaner men and that kind of stuff.
Right. I mean, if you think of like the bodybuilders, what most women would consider it grotesque.
Mm-hmm.
What are they building up for?
Right.
And it is this idea of perfection in their mind that, I mean, it's not going to get them laid for sure, because women are like, ugh. It's nasty, to see the veins pop. The fact that veins popping are a big deal for these guys. Vascularity and I don't know any women and ladies who are watching. I don't know any woman that's like, oh my God, his veins are so pretty. I mean, that's not. I mean, yes, not even. I mean, I like the chest. I like the chest to be defined. A six-pack, not necessary, but nice. To have definition in the arm, yeah, that's nice. I like men with that V shape. Mm-hmm. You know what I like, and I like that. I don't like it when it starts getting veiny. I think that's just nasty. But that's just me. But I think most women would agree with me on that one. But then these men take it to another level. Right. Why? Because they create this image for themselves of perfection, and they need to attain this perfection. And that's where eating disorders come from, body image issues come from. They're not meeting it, And if you go and you talk to these men, you will find that they have tremendous body image issues.
Oh, yes.
That they can tell you exactly where their flaw is. Mm-hmm. That, oh no, this calf is 20% smaller than this calf, and that minute kind of craziness, because it really is that. There's an insanity to it. And we're gonna talk about that. It's like why do people get plastic surgery? Why do people do? Because there's a little bit of insanity to it. It's like, this does not match with this. Here's my body image. This is what I'm seeing. They don't match. And if they don't match, I gotta make it match. Okay? Does this mean that you need to be medicated and put in a little padded room? No.
Maybe.
A little bit, perhaps.
Yes. It depends on what you're doing to get there.
Yeah, some people, yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, others, not so much. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty psychology of it. Okay, what people suffer from when they have body image issues is a type of body dysmorphia. Okay, so morphia is how it looks. Morph, get it? And dys, of course, is dysfunctional. So there's a dysfunctional way of looking at things. And that's a really important thing. Now, it used to be called something that actually had the word phobia in it, because there was a fear in it. But they took that out because it was kind of like redundant. Okay? So, to be body dysmorphic, okay, and I think that you've probably seen this, they show the fun, the funhouse mirrors.
Yes.
They show a woman looking at herself, a slim woman looking at herself in a funhouse mirror, and she sees this fat woman. Okay, that's body dysmorphia. That you're seeing this fat woman, and you are not. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm seeing this. Okay, this is gross. The fact that I've got stains and everybody can see this, and Well, actually, I don't really feel that way. I do not like it, but I think it's more pronounced than it really is. Most people don't notice it. I notice it.
Right. Your eyes are drawn to
So
it.
my eyes are drawn to it. Therefore, I have a dysmorphic opinion of these stains because I think that they're more pronounced than they are. Okay? So there's a little bit of delusion involved.
If you've ever seen like the documentaries of like acute anorexics, where they do the ones where they'll have them like lay on a piece of paper and they'll trace them, and then they'll have them like here and start pointing out, the places where they're too fat, and we're talking about women who are 70 pounds, and they're pointing out their 10-inch waist, going, oh, I could lose a couple inches there, and things like that.
They're almost like blink out of existence.
Yeah, right. See, you break in half if you did that. Yeah. But it's, that's the dysmorphia. That is the...
I'm not seeing this right.
Right.
Right. So, to this is part of the obsessive compulsive stuff, and because it falls into the obsessive compulsive stuff, okay, I'm sorry, we're having like some really good wind out there. And stuff is flying in our patio.
Yeah, we like that.
Anyway, so because it's obsessive compulsive, it falls into the addiction realm. Okay, which is one of my favorite things and one of my specialties as a therapist. And when we talk about the addiction stuff, we talk about things having an obsessive and a compulsive component to it. The obsessive stuff comes from obviously the thoughts. And so you have obsessive thoughts about it. You think about, I really don't. That's I'm not a good example of it.
Okay, I think I can give an example.
Go for it.
I have always been thin. Now, in my mind, I'm too thin. Well, not so much now. But as a younger man, I am... See, actually, in my mind, still, my little craziness is now I'm looking at myself so that I'm able to, as I've matured, I'm able to gain a little bit more weight. So now I see fat, which is, of course, people still refer to me as
flaco.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, because I have that fat there.
So I call him a fat fuck.
Yeah, which is even more right. Yeah. Anyhow, there was a year in high school where I was constantly full because I was trying to gain weight. So I would, I'd eat a dozen eggs a day. I'd have protein shakes 2-3 times a day. I'd have a pound of bacon a day. I'd eat constantly. And to the point of being, ready to vomit all the time. Where I couldn't go to bed at night and, lay on my stomach because I would throw up. It was this constant perseverative need that I had to eat because I was too thin. And somewhere in some magazine I read that I needed to take in more calories. Then again, I also had the appropriate support system for something like that, and that I had, my grandmother whose coaching was that I should drink cream, that would do it. And sour cream, eating that would help.
Isn't it nice to have supportive family?
Things of that sort. So is that an example of...
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but with body dysmorphia, to be actually diagnosed with body dysmorphia, I think that we all have some symptoms of body dysmorphia. We all have that little piece of our body and or self that we go, I don't really like this. I wish it was like this, and I wish it was like that. Whatever. I wish my wrists were smaller. I wish, silly, whatever. And it is silly. It is completely insane what we do because it doesn't really match with reality. Because in the moment you say to somebody, "Hey, what do you think about my fat wrists?" and then they're going to be like,
"Huh?
What?
You crazy?"
Like, yeah, bitch, you crazy. And I get that all the time. But no, only 1 or 2%, 1 to 2% of the population is actually ever diagnosed with body dysmorphia.
Okay.
That's a little teeny weeny bit, because there's a lot of symptoms that you got to kind of check off. So we talk about your obsessive thoughts. You're thinking about it. Now, people with body dysmorphia usually have what we call a comorbid state. So, in other words, you got the body dysmorphia and you got something else going on. It always goes hand in hand to be a real body dysmorphic person. And usually it's depression.
Oh.
Okay? So, because is it chicken or egg? We don't know. Mm-hmm. Were you depressed and then you became body dysmorphic, or you were body dysmorphic and became... Either way, they live together in happy harmony. You tend to be delusional. Obviously, if you're thinking, hey, fat wrist, I wonder if I can get lipo in my wrist. There's some delusion going on. And I really do have issues with my wrist.
I know you do.
Anyway, so... Because I'm a big bone girl. That's why. Okay, because you have these issues, now, this is where you separate the men from the boys, okay? Now, do I hide myself because I have these horrible, grotesque stains on my face or fat wrists? No, obviously. I'm on a web series.
Yes.
My picture's all over the internet, in one way or another.
I mean, we doctor it, of course.
Yeah,
because,
of course.
Get out the wrists and stuff. That's what Photoshop was made for, right?
And the porn sites and everything, too.
Yes.
Anyway, so...
It's hard to do.
And those are harder to do. Well, you thin out the wrist.
Yeah.
Thin out the wrist. So you tend to isolate yourself, and then because you're isolating yourself, you create a social phobia. That if they see me, they're going to think I'm disgusting. So, which just adds to the crazy. 80% of people diagnosed with body dysmorphia have suicidal ideations. Most of the people who are committing suicide nowadays, and this isn't including all the recent bullying induced gay suicides or anything like that, but there is some of that in there too. Just it's in there. It's not body dysmorphia as more as ego. Right. It's an ego dysmorphia. That's a different.
Yeah.
Actually, it's called ego dystonic, but that's a different thing altogether. Different show, not dysmorphia, dystonic.
Yeah.
But it's in the same family. Yeah. Ego dystonia and body dysmorphia are in the same crazy family.
I would assume that that's one of the reasons why they're doing the "It Gets Better" videos, is because it's that same thought process. It's the "I am wrong," looking at myself, I am wrong, and at least with body, you can, a person can point out what your goals are, whereas with something ego-wise, it's a little bit harder.
Well, it's hard to rationalize when people hate you for who you are.
Yeah.
And therefore, the ego dystonia comes from, I have to destroy me because I can't live like me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. Yeah. Related, but not completely the same.
Right.
Yeah.
But very related, because the suicidal ideations come from, I'm never going to get better. I am hideous. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I might as well just go. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with this comes a lot of anxiety, panic attacks. You could just imagine. What? Do you remember? Girl Interrupted?
Yes. When
the girl was going, 80 pounds is a good weight. It's funny, but it's so true. Mm-hmm. They've had these women that just look like skeletons with skin strapped over them, on TV, and they're like, well.
If I could just lose another 10 pounds.
If I could it's like, bitch, you don't got no 10 pounds to lose. What are you going to lose? Lose a femur?
Uh-huh.
I mean, what are you going to lose? So, the anxiety is what keeps you mulling over it. And then it spurs on the obsessive thoughts. And then because you're doing that, then you become more and more depressed, and then you become suicidal. So that's all in the thought realm. Now in the compulsive realm, we tend to, as a society, if you think about it, check the mirror. That's the compulsive stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many people do you know can walk by a mirror without looking?
Not me.
Okay.
Again, it's made.
And if you think about decorating, nice. If you think about decorations, because I was gonna say decorations.
Oh.
But like what do you call those people? Inside. Interior designers, decorators.
Mm-hmm.
Mirrors are a big deal. Why? Why is a mirror a big deal?
Because I look so good in them.
Right. Because they know that your eyes are drawn to it. Like a painting. You're going to do one of those to the painting. But every time you walk by the mirror, you're going to do like that. Mirror checking is a compulsive behavior that, as human beings, we all have.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, no, I know that mirrors are a big deal with Feng Shui.
Okay, sorry folks, but apparently our chat just decided to start working, and a whole bunch of writing started happening. So now we have to catch up.
Okay, so mirrors are a big deal in Feng Shui. Yeah. Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like to bounce the chi off of the wall so that you maintain a good flow of chi through your house. Mm-hmm. Not a problem. As human beings, though, we've gotten into this habit of, if you look at the development of a baby, okay, the baby, the first thing that it learns and the first thing that it finds fascinating is specifically the face.
Mm-hmm.
What we would consider the negative and the positive parts of the face.
We're social creatures, so we are hardwired to see the face.
We look for the face, and it's a very important thing. Then if you look at little kids, some of the most fascinating things to themselves is looking in a mirror and seeing their own face and thinking it's another child, and then all of a sudden they figure out it's themselves, and they spend hours just making faces at themselves. So this is where our love affair with ourselves begins. Mm-hmm. And this is not a negative thing. This is a very positive thing. It becomes negative when your checking becomes all-encompassing. And you have to sit there and do the whole for about an hour, and you're late because you just can't get that hair to go right. And that's where it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm. Becomes the same thing as washing your hands 7 times.
Yeah,
because
if you think about
the dirt.
Yeah, it's like look at those stupid dishes from Jersey Shore, and how much time do you spend in front of a mirror, and how much time? It's like these guys have such incredible body image issues. You catch them in 10 years, they are going to be depressed off their ass.
Yep. Yeah, you can tell that they're addictions waiting to happen. Yeah. Okay.
No, they're already happening.
Yes, true. So,
they're already happening.
But rehab waiting to happen.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yep.
There's I forgot other gosh, I knew there was something missing. In the obsessive stuff, you start developing shame. I do have shame about this. I know that, and I could definitely identify that I do have. I am carrying some shame regarding that. It's like shame of getting older. Mm-hmm. That's definitely there. Avoidant personalities. Avoidant personalities are people who obviously avoid. But the people who do things like, no, that's okay. You guys go. I'll stay home. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna do this? No, that's okay. Oh, come on, get in the picture. No, that's okay. It's like, how many people do you know do that? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who do that. Mm-hmm. A ton of people who do that. Yeah. And then you don't. Oh, they're just being. No, that's a full-on personality disorder. You tend these people tend to develop what they call love shyness.
Okay, I know that one with love shyness.
Love shyness is this. You basically shy away from any potential of being loved.
Ooh. Okay, that's sad.
That's sad.
That one's sad.
That's really sad. But why would anybody love you if you are so hideous? So
right, that's the logic behind it.
It makes sense in that, a lot of people. It's like who just came out this week about anorexia? I think it was Portia de Rossi, or no, actually Portia DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres' wife.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Just came out this week that while she was on Ally McBeal, she was eating 300 calories a day. Thought that was okay. She weighed 80 pounds.
Wow.
And this woman's not short. This woman's like, 5'8", 5'9". Okay? Weighed 80 pounds.
Which one is she?
Ally
McBeal.
She was the blonde one. You would actually comment about how weird she looked because she was just a big head, and she had her big eyes and a big mouth. She almost looked like a lizard.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
She doesn't look like that anymore because she's gained weight.
Okay, good.
She actually looks kind of nice now. So, but a lot of her stuff that I was reading, briefly was because of, sexuality issues. And that she likes men. She thinks men are wonderful. But she wants to have relationships with women. So she found that, she got a lot of rejection growing up because of her desire to have a relationship with a woman. And so the rejection, being put in the limelight, all of that caused her to, to get the eating disorder. Now, a lot of that comes from shame. A lot of that comes from the idea of being perfect. This is where the whole ego dystonia comes in.
Okay.
Because perfection, what is perfection? I have no idea. But we all think we know that what it means, it's like to be perfect. Well, I don't know what it is. And really annoying to me. It's like, the only perfect thing is God is perfect. And and even in that, what is the perfection? Because you look at the creation, and there's imperfections in the creation. So maybe being imperfect is perfect.
Ooh,
that's so philosophical.
Yes.
Let me get on a mountain and shit.
That's right.
Grow my beard out.
If you had a beard, I think you would. That would be part of the show here.
That would be another issue.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is a big deal, and that's something that we strive for in this society, is this idea of perfection. Well, I have not seen much perfection. I mean, perfect moments I've had, but perfection? I thrill off of the imperfectness.
So where is that healthy balance between...
Oh, God, I don't know. You?
I'm not really certain, but throwing it out there.
I think that it's just... Honestly, I think that a big part of all of this is really surrounding yourself with people who just accept and love you for who you are. And then that gives you almost permission to do the same thing for yourself. It's very difficult to do it the other way around. You need to have that support because we're not raised in that society. I mean, at 44, within the last few years, I finally started having that kind of all-encompassing, you're great the way you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I've had Paul for 20 plus years telling me that, and that's wonderful, but to have more people and being able to be out there in the public, doing the web series and writing and all that, and meeting people when we go to events and whatever, and hearing things like, "Oh, you guys are just so wonderful" and all that, it kind of it feeds that need, that little girl that was abused or didn't get enough love, or whoever she was or he was for you, because the reality is that this all comes from the fact that we weren't loved enough when we were kids. We weren't perfect enough when we were kids, therefore we weren't loved enough. This is a very childish way of thinking, and we all carry that with us. This isn't to say that because you love the hell out of your kids, they're not going to have this. The reality is that you don't know how to love your kid the way he needs or she needs to be loved. You do everything that you can. You do the best that you can to make sure that they get, that you've given your all to it. But they're going to be the judge of it. They're going to decide whether it was enough or was the right kind and any of that stuff. For us, I think the best that we can do is, we do it and then we let them go and we tell them, hey, you don't get enough, go get some therapy. But that's about all we can do. My parents were great. My parents loved the hell out of me. I had everything I wanted. Still had issues. You know.
Same thing with me.
You know, was I abused? I mean, there was emotional abuse, definitely, because I had, you know, the stuff between my parents. You know, that kind of.
Not, you know,
Was it?
services.
Yeah, no. Was I in a closet? You know,
No.
was I in a closet or anything? No. You know, but was I ever enough? You know, there were times where I wasn't enough for them, and those are the moments that almost like cloud absolutely everything else. Just like a little stain on the face. You know, that all of a sudden, oh, I'm not perfect anymore.
Right.
So, you know, that's where it comes from. It is how childish it is. You know, I mean, if you think of like when you used to play when you were a kid, you know, think about kids like 5 and younger playing, and they're doing their imaginary play, and you know, and this guy is the good guy, and this guy is the bad guy, very black and white, and you know, this guy does this, and then like, you know, if another kid goes, no, but then he does this, the original kid is like, whoa, 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 don't mess this up. There's a perfectness to this, the way that I have my rules and everything's set out. Don't touch it. We don't change much as we get older. Okay? That little 5-year-old is still there. And that little 5-year-old is still making the rules in some parts of your life. And that's where therapy comes in and would be very helpful. But also where even just being able to acknowledge the 5-year-old and say, okay, that's me back then. That's me back then when mommy tried on that dress and maybe it didn't fit and it was a little bit tight. And she said, okay, you know, well, you got to wear it anyway because you got to look pretty. That's the moment that was cemented in your brain, and this doesn't go away. And so as parents, you know, you can do everything you can, but you're going to say things like that, you know, or, you know, honey, you got to wear that because you don't have anything else and we got to go. But it doesn't matter what they hear and what's reality, and, you know, so.
Yeah, the best thing that we can do as parents is make it so that our kids are able to seek out what they need to make themselves better.
Yeah.
You know, give them the resources, because we're going to say something stupid. I know I will.
Well, we have. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean,
yeah.
Right. Our 17-year-old is in therapy now, and we kind of pushed for it. Not kind of. This was the actual discussion. Ginny, you know, the training thing's going to start.
The same ones that we've been doing.
Yeah. You know, the self-effectiveness,
Right.
and, you know, but there's a lot of therapy involved.
Yeah.
And I was cooking at the time, and she's standing there. I'm like, okay, so, you know, you need to send the email saying that you're going to go and whatever. She's like, I'm not going. And I'm like, okay, why? You know, I know that you've got friends going, you know, you should go. And she's like, I just don't feel like it. Now,
I don't even think she said it quite so strongly, because
No,
she probably mumbled
something at me.
Yeah.
okay, so I'm cooking, and this is like the 4th time I've talked to her about it. Every time I've been very, okay, you know, I know it's up to you, but I really wish you would take this step and blah, 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 blah. Trying to say all the right frickin' things. Finally, I'm standing there cooking, and I'm tired, and I just did one of those, took my hand and just smacked on the counter, and I'm like, no child of mine is going to avoid therapy, goddammit, so go to therapy and fuck up. And so she did.
Do you know how many therapists we have in the family?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm a therapist. My sister's a therapist. Her husband's a therapist. Friends who are therapists. Tons of friends who are therapists.
Yeah.
You know,
Can't
Please.
throw a rock without hitting a therapist.
I mean, what we talk about at parties is like we process feelings and crap because everybody that we go to parties with are people we've been in therapy with. And so
it's what we do. Okay, so we got like 5 minutes left.
So anyway, the point is, she's in therapy now, and she's working on stuff. I have no idea what.
Right.
I am, you know, I take responsibility for everything I've done, you know, as a mother.
But I'm not going to take
But
it
I'm not
personally.
going to take it personally, nor am I going to feel blamed for any fucked up goodness that she feels.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's her choice to feel that way.
Right.
You know, have I done anything that is criminal? No. But, you know, it's like how she interprets anything that I've done. You know, from things like moving away from California.
Yeah, right.
You know, I don't know how she interprets that, how that little, you know, almost 3-year-old interpreted that move. It must have been something big because she stopped speaking Spanish when she left California.
Uh-huh.
But we don't know.
Right.
We'll find out hopefully at some point. I doubt it because she won't tell us anything. But the point is, yeah, we've made our mistakes as parents, and I'm just not going to fret about it like most parents do.
Yeah.
Because we've been in therapy.
Right. Yes.
We've
it's
done
not
our
healthy
therapy.
to fret about it either.
No, it's not. It is rather unhealthy.
A matter of fact, that again goes back to that whole ego, dysphonic.
You know
belief
what?
system.
It also goes back to the idea of being perfect.
Right.
And this is, I mean, if anything that you're going to get out of this, it's the idea that we're as perfect as we're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing, you know, like losing a few pounds and all that, as long as it's not consuming your life and taking you away from the things and the people that you love. That's the bottom line. I mean, it's not like, you know, he's reaching out to touch me and I'm like, don't touch me, my face is hideous, you know. I mean...
No, you have not done the I am an animal thing.
No, not at all.
We're good.
I don't walk around with a sack on my face.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this because I'm looking forward to doing positive things. You know, I just signed up for the Daily Mile thing on Facebook. So, you know, we're going to start our working out probably after the face heals.
Right. Don't want to scare the kids.
Don't want to scare the kiddies around the block, you know. And now that it's getting cooler, it should be nice.
Yes, this is true.
Too. I mean, because it's going to like be 47 here in Miami today. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
looking very forward to it. So, anything else?
I don't know. Do we know what we're talking about next week?
What are we talking about?
I don't know. I think that we were going to kind of continue with some of this.
And then move on to something else.
Is that what we're doing?
Don't know what the other part is going to be yet. We're definitely going to like recap my experience. Because it supposedly takes like a week, right?
Yes.
I read that somewhere.
Somewhere, right.
So it takes like a week to get better. We'll recap the experience and then move on to something else. If you guys have any ideas, throw them out there because we're good like that. We take suggestions.
And then check out Couple Gum this week and watch
and
her
watch
face
me
peel off and all that kind of stuff. Yes.
I'm going to look something like, you know, the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Cool.
Something like that. And the face just melts off.
That would work. That'd be cool.
You can't kiss me then.
Oh, I gotta catch a lip as it's sliding down? Sure. I could do that.
You wouldn't do that.
Huh?
No, you wouldn't do that. That's nasty.
I'm okay with that.
So, let's see. What else? What else do we have going on?
I don't know.
Okay, so there's only like 40-something days to Christmas.
I'm already Christmas decorating.
We're already Christmas decorating.
Right.
We're actually surrounded by Christmas decorations. There's lights everywhere. We've got.
This was the little guy who was up there before because I figured it.
Someday I'd like to be a dentist.
Now, talk about it.
Yeah, there's some issues.
There's some issues.
Why am I such a misfit?
This is a perfect
Not just a
one. Anyway, so yeah, we've only got like about 30 of those in the house. So yeah, we're very much into. As soon as the Halloween went down, that's what goes up.
Right.
So have a great week, everybody. I'll see you every day. You'll see me every day.
Yeah, our thing is really slow, so you guys.
Are there
some
signs?
questions.
You know what? How about if we'll talk about that next time? Are there signs that kids should be in therapy? We'll talk about that next time.
That's a good one.
Okay.
See you
See you next week, guys.
Bye.